Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome. Wicked Insanity, Underground, and Curious Brain Cell. Hello. Welcome and happy Monday. Get my what's left of my sponges in there. We're starting off the week with the true star of the show here, Kiba, with our Kiba cam. And your tail is already wet. We got Minnie up here, as close to the heater as she can get. Underground, you're present but quiet because you're working. Oh, look at that face. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, we ticklish. We got a ticklish spot. Oh, sorry. Shouldn't get as much joy out of that as I do. Today I'm going to be doing some more throwing. We are finally on the thaw here. We had snow this time last week. This time last week it was snowing all day. We had like 4 inches, which I know some of you may laugh at that, but it really did shut us down for a while. And there still is not school because the county roads are still icy. And then what is it, Thursday? We had it snowed again on Thursday night, so it's just been a real mess. But we're finally back. Kiba's like, y'all, I got some pets to catch up on. Oh, they're so staticky. And then Minnie's up here. Oh, there's my green screen. Where is she? There she is. Here we go. There we go. Back to Kiba. But what I want to make today is start off with a few bigger pieces. I want to make some colanders and some berry bowls. The colanders are going to be 4-pound pieces, and they are going to end up looking like this. So I'm going to be making this shape. And then when it dries some, we'll carve some of the shapes out of it. And this is one of the few things that I will actually trim. So you can see there's a trimmed foot on the bottom. Trying to get it around Kiba's head. And so I will be trying to flip these over and trim them once I'm done. But that starts as 4 pounds of clay, and then the berry bowls, which are the smaller version. This one obviously has had some cracks in it, so it's like some of the holes are just way too thin. And there's a crack around the edge. So this one probably should never have been bisque fired, but that's the risk that you run sometimes, is that you can trim a little bit too much and trim through the bottom. But this is the shape that I'm going to be making for the berry bowls, the kind of floral shape. What's up, Minnie? I'm sorry. She she just bit. She bit hard. I don't know if she's playful or what. Her and Kiba have been getting jealous of each other. I don't think I can really blame Kiba for all of it. Like, she's been just swatting at him. They're going stir crazy. The last thing I threw was the pie plates and the soup bowls, and I've gotten those together. We only lost a couple of soup bowls. Well, that's why you make extra. Minnie is very chatty, so she chirps all the time. And so it's only polite for you to respond. I'm going to start with the big ones first. Let's see how this works. So this is 4 pounds of clay. And I'm still using these small tiles because the base of this is not going to be, you know, more than 6 inches wide. We need a sledding team so we can reach the Emperor in a winter emergency. Now, you've seen our house. We can get down the hill. We can get to the studio. It's just getting back that's the problem. He was only really without any attention for one day, so him and Minnie. And so they've had to suffer mostly of only having somebody come and feed them every day, or only having me here instead of having me and my studio ninja here. Because what they've gotten used to doing is going back and forth between the two of us and getting pets all day when they're not sleeping. The winch in the garage, right? Sid Dog, hello, and Vixen. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Like I told y'all, right, that like Minnie goes out and gathers my studio helper in. Her name's Mariah. She'll go out and get her in the mornings. Like I'll get here and open the back door, you know, take care of the cats, do what I'm doing. And when she gets here, like Minnie will go outside to her car and walk her in, like to greet her. I told her, congrats, you're one of Minnie's kittens now. Vixen, a product question. Yes, what is your question? Now, I don't want to pull this too tall at first. I just want to make sure I get some of this clay off the bottom, because I will be stretching this out. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, let me grab a bacon cooker and show you at least what the shape is. That is one thing I've been debating on whether I need to build up, make several of them for stock, because we sell them so infrequently, but I have one customer that wholesales them a lot. So bread baker, okay. It's odd that we don't have a picture of the bread baker on there. I'll have to fix that. Let me do this one more time. Get a little bit wider. There we go. I like that. Okay. Now hopefully I've left enough clay on the bottom of this so that I can trim it without anything going wrong. And because I don't trim things very often, I'm not in the habit of leaving a lot of clay at the bottom, because normally that's what I don't want to do. Before I do this, let me give it the little wavy edges that I like. So when I plan out my day of what I'm going to make, when I have a lot of big things to make like this, I like to mix this up with making some big things and then a whole lot of little things so that I feel like I'm being efficient. Because these pieces take a lot longer, so I'm trying to mix this with things that don't take as long. So after I make the berry bowls and the colanders, I'll be making some sponge holders or soap dishes. Go. Let's move this out of the way and let it dry a little bit. That's going to be like roughly a 12-inch bowl, I think, by the time it's done. So bacon cookers and bread bakers, this is what my current bread baker looks like. So it's a rectangle like what you would think of a bread baker. And I'm not entirely sure like how happy I am with it because I feel like it's a little bit too big. So I may be making it a bit smaller, but it's a rectangular bread baker. So the only difference is really if you're making something like a quick bread, it probably won't be as tall of a loaf. It'll just be more wide and flatter. And then this one is the bacon cooker. And so what you do is you put your bacon slices over the edge here, and you can put it in the oven or the microwave, and the grease drips off, and then you can pour it out. Save it or dump it. And so you have bacon that is less greasy, which some would argue makes it slightly healthier, or some would say there's no such thing. But anyway, it helps kind of keep the mess contained. Vixen, like, you don't bake much bread yet, but you need one. Yes. And remember, you can use them for anything. They're just as good for mac and cheese or veggies or brownies. Probably be really tall brownies. The pie plates are the one that kind of works for many, many different things. That one, like, probably very specific use. Logistics, hello. All right, here we go again. One thing I need to make a lot of, and it won't be today, I need to make some oil bottles, because I had someone wipe us out of our oil bottles at Christmas time. But I've got a list of everything I'm making, so I just gotta do one thing at a time. Meatloaf! There you go! Might be good for like a smaller proportion lasagna. Though we do have a specific lasagna dish for that very purpose. Logistics, I'm doing well. We are finally starting to thaw out a little bit. It's almost 40 degrees outside. Like Sunday, it was -5. By the end of the week, it's supposed to be 60 degrees. So we're all going to be sick. Oh, it has been so cold in here. Like, it was so cold that, like, okay, it was -5, right? But I started a kiln on Saturday night, and I came in on Sunday morning, and, like, it said it was at 200 degrees, which is fine. I can open it, but usually you can feel the aura of heat or whatever coming off of it, around it, but I couldn't feel anything. I opened it up and put my hand in the kiln, and I could not feel the heat until I actually touched a piece, which I do not suggest doing at 200 degrees. I don't think I left too much. I did not leave enough room there. Again, I don't know how many of these like baking dishes are actually on the website, but I'm always trying to figure out like ways to make them a bit more efficient, so they're kind of always changing a little bit. The lasagna dish is a square pan, a square baking dish. Starting a list of pieces, yeah. Yeah, I'll grab a lasagna dish after I finish this one. This one is like not as tall as the other one. That's where I should pay attention to how tall I make these things before I open them up. It's just a little bit wonky. See, it's like not quite even there. Let's get this thing out. It probably would help if I were to slow this thing down, right? Let's listen to my own rules and slow it down some. And when it gets wide like this, the trick is doing this slowly and evenly so that you don't cause one side to collapse. Okay. He's like purring in his sleep. I'm used to him snoring a little bit, but he's just over here sounds like he's purring. Potion bottles, yes! They are fun. They've become a regular addition to our show inventory. I made them just for the gaming shows at one point. Or that's why I made them, but they do well everywhere. Because they're also, you know, they could be bud faces or whatever. I think I just broke the tile a little bit. Trying to pry it up. Here we go. Because it's easier to do this than actually, no, I can't be far enough away from the camera. There we go. Viking, hello. And another thing I'm thinking of making is like just the little flower pots, succulent pots I used to make, and then we did some sample wall pocket vases. Did y'all see those? Actually, they're in the kiln right now, so I can't show them to you anyway. This is a lasagna dish. Dusty. It is square. Square dish. Square-ish. With handles. This one is over here because it had some issues with a handle, like not attaching. So this one might go home with me. But that's all that's wrong with it. It's just cosmetic. It's, you know, the other side is stuck really well. See, that side is good. It just, like, wanted to leave us. It's a good brownie pan too, yeah. Like I said, it's a deep pan, so like the brownies aren't going to get very, I mean, it's going to look like there's probably nothing in it, but And that is a piece that was hand built, and so not made on the wheel. And again, something I'm trying to just to think about how I want to do them in the future. Got 6 of these I can make all together. Here we go. I bet I didn't leave enough on the bottom of that. Let's give it a bit more. Here we go. Okay. Let's make it a bit taller before I stretch it out. Blacksmith Pop, hey! Yeah, thanks for stopping by. We are finally warming up a little bit. Like, I think it's finally 40 degrees today or something. Slow that down a little bit. There we go. So I'm making a lot of these, the shapes that I don't normally make. Like, you know, normally what you're going to see me make are mugs. And I've still got a lot of mugs to do, but I'm just building up a stock of these regular pieces for our next show, which is the Kentucky Crafted Market, which is where we'll have everything out, not just mugs, but it's also a wholesale show where I wholesale a lot of the bakeware to different gift shops and such. And also we'll also have some of the stock at our gallery too. Yeah, it's different for us now because normally we wouldn't have a lot of reason to make a lot of this stuff outside of specific wholesale orders or just a couple of shows a year, but now we've got a place, if nothing else, to store everything. Well, hello, Minnie. Let's center this one more time. Hi. Did it again. I'm just so not used to leaving extra clay here. Maybe by the time I get done with these I'll remember, and then I'll have to redo the bottoms of all my other things. I'll have a batch of really thick mug bottoms. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. And with this being a wide, heavier piece, like you want to be careful, like, and not like jerk it around too much, or you know, even like sudden movements can cause it to wobble and then collapse. So they're very fragile. But we got 4, so we're gonna do 2 more. Okay, I remembered this time. We're not leaving it too thin. There we go. I remembered, finally. All right, let's stretch this thing out a little bit. Here we go. Now I'm thinking I might be able to trim these tonight, but I'll just got to keep an eye on them because it is so dry right now. Though it's not gonna be the rest of the week. It's gonna be raining now. It's like, but I will take rain over snow and ice any day of the week. All right, one more. Well, hello, Minnie. Mm-hmm. All right, one more of these. And this is our colander. First step is always make sure the clay is firmly attached to the wheel. I'm going to make this go just a little bit faster because it can go faster the bigger the piece it is. This is 4 pounds of clay to make the colander. There we go. Got a little bit of something there. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's just a hole. Just a little air bubble that had popped. And I'm going to open this up and remember to leave plenty of room for a foot on the bottom. This is one of the few pieces I do trim. Okay, I've got this opened up. Doing the first pull into a little volcano shape. Go. And I don't want to make this too tall because I am going to be stretching it out wide, but I'm not going to stretch it out just yet. I want to get some of that clay off of the bottom. So I got one of my long hairs in there. The long hairs can be dangerous because they act just like a piece of wire cutting through the piece. If that happens while the clay is really soft like this, it'll still cut through it, but at least you can usually fix it. Okay, we're going to turn this down a little bit more and then get out my rib to stretch this out. This gives us some support on the outside so it doesn't just collapse on me. And using the rib is how I normally support the base of something if I was going to make this just a wide decorative bowl without trimming it. I would still throw it this way, but not, leave any extra clay on the bottom. And this is how I would keep it from collapsing. But this one, because it's going to be a colander and I'm going to be cutting designs into the bottom, I want it to have like a smooth finish. Here we go. And I like to give this a little wavy rim. It's just a kind of a design accent. Serves no real purpose except just to, I think it looks pretty. There we go. It would hold a lot of popcorn, it would. Even with all the holes in it. So there's the 6 of those. And this is what it's going to eventually look like. So that's the shape that you've seen me make. I'm going to trim the bottom, so I'm going to trim that extra clay into a foot to give it a little bit of a space underneath it, and then I'm going to cut this design in there so that you know, fruits and vegetables and different pastas and things can drain. Some of the designs, I've had people say, oh, it looks like something could fall through those holes, but remember, this is going to shrink, and then it's going to be glazed as well, so the holes are not going to be as big, and the gaps are not going to be as big on the final piece. And then what I'm going to do now is the smaller version of that, which is going to be, hopefully it's not going to look like this, but because this, the bottom, this is why this one is still here, because the bottom is cracked, because it was just way too thin on the edge here. I probably never should have been bisqued, but this is what it's going to look similar to. Smaller version with just circular holes poked in it. Add another item to the wish list. So this is 2 pounds of clay, and I've got to still remember to leave that little bit of space there. Leave a thicker base on here is what I mean. You like pottery? Well, I'm glad you do. You don't have to apologize to me. I might make the bottom on this one wider next time, but this one's already there, so. There we go. Okay. So it went a little bit, it's a little bit easier when it's not as much clay to move around. So I want to make 10 of these. And with these, like with trimming and with cutting holes in all of these, like I fully expect to lose 2 of them. I expect to end up with 8 of these out of 10. So, and I could be proven wrong. They could be all right, but just the more steps there are to something, the more likely there is something that can go wrong. But these are berry bowls. They tend to be a good spring seller, so I'll probably be making a couple of batches of these. Blue Seals, hello. Today I am making, this one is a berry bowl. I made some colanders, and the berry bowl is the smaller version of that. Here we go. Let's flare that out a bit more. There we go. And so this is 2 pounds of clay, so it's going to be roughly 8-inch wide by maybe 4 to 5 inches tall. Actually, not even, maybe 7, because it's like a 6-inch like tile here, so. And then I will trim these, put a foot on them, and then we'll drill some holes in them so they can drain. Hey Robbie, good afternoon. You do a hot glass or soft glass rather. Yeah, a hot shop for your part-time night job. Whoa. What type of stuff do you make? So this is the what the berry bowl is going to look similar to, though hopefully not having the crack in the bottom like this one has. But we're going to put trim a foot and put holes in the sides. I will need to go get one of my drinks after a while. I don't have a drink anymore. I cannot hydrate. You work in a production line for candle votives. Whoa. Mold blowing and color application. Wow, I didn't realize that they would like make their candle holders in-house. That's pretty awesome. Glass Baby Company. It's a Seattle-based company. They do the candles too, or just the holders? Just the holders. In your spare time, you like making the orb paperweights or the drinking glasses? Oh, that sounds like so much fun. That is like, I'm into pottery. I'm committed to pottery. But if I had something else I would get into, I think I would enjoy glass blowing. And Aubrey, you make candles. Whoa, so they make candle holders and this give you like tea lights? Gotcha, okay. I was thinking things like you would pour candles into. Yeah, it's like a horizontal axis instead of a vertical axis, yeah. Right, you never stop learning. Yeah, that's why I I think that's one thing that makes it hard to like answer the question of how long have you been doing this? Like, oh, look at all this, you know, what you know how to do. How long did it take you to learn that? Like, that's the hardest question for me to answer sometimes, because I took my first pottery class over 20 years ago now, but I can't say I was making good pieces that entire time. And even when I look back at what I made 10 years ago, and I was a full-time potter then, and I'm like, oh, I was really? That's look back at those things, and I'm like, wow, I've come a long way. I hope to be able to say every year that when I look back a few years in the past, to say, oh, wow, and just to see how far I've come, see how far I've changed. Even if it's not a huge big deal. Like, I'm constantly learning and making, you know, trying to be more efficient. Testing new techniques, new products. You've been doing glass for 16 years, nice, but only professionally for 2 years. This is a wider one. It'll still work though. Yeah, well, I understand I worked full-time while trying to build up a little bit of business. I ended up doing a whole lot of wholesale with just a couple products. And so I was just thinking to myself, one reason I look back at my, you know, mugs from 10, 12 years ago is because, yeah, I'm like, oh, wow, that was really an ugly mug. It's because I wasn't making that many mugs. I just started making them. I was making yarn bowls because that's the only thing I had time to make. That's what got me to go full-time, and then I started making other things on a more consistent basis. Your mom has a lot of ugly art of yours, yes. You know what? I could probably do the same thing with my parents' house. Let's make a timeline of just the progression of one thing to another. Do the wavy edges complicate the trimming, Viking? Sorry, I just now saw that. So yes, they do. They do. I make it hard on myself. I don't like trimming anyway, and then I do that. But what I do is, you know, you level it out. Sometimes I need to use like little clay plugs to make it level. And with trimming, sometimes you're not going to get it level, you just trim it level, and then it's got a new orientation. Because that's one thing, between the base and the rim on almost any pot, it's not going to be perfectly even. Like when you flip something over, the base is not going to be, you know, level. It's just near impossible. do I ever do trimming streams? You've only caught spinning. Like like this is probably my once out of twice this year you will see me trimming. So it depends on how fast things dry out. Like if I need to do it tonight before losing a piece, I'm gonna do it. But if it waits till tomorrow, I'll probably stream it tomorrow. Like I hate trimming with a passion. I hate it. And so I've, you know, designed most of my pieces to not need trimming. But some pieces, if I think they need it, I will do it. But I've not the type who thinks that I don't care about a trimmed foot. I don't think it makes the piece, I don't think it adds that much value to a piece, so I don't take the time to do it. I like a flat bottom on the mugs. How well do the wavy edges hold the weight? So when I trim the bottom, like the wavy edges are a little bit drier than leather hard, so it usually is okay. That is one thing, knock on wood, that I have not had happen, is that like the edges crack because of too much pressure. I feel like they would crack from too much pressure if the bottom was too dry and I was having to put a lot of pressure on there to trim it. But yeah, once the rim starts to change color, that's when I kind of know I can sometimes, like, I can either flip the piece over to let the bottom dry out a little bit, or I can trim the bottom. Do the uneven edges serve a purpose? So just for elegance, just because I like the way it looks? Something to make it a little bit different, to help it to stand out from just a regular plain bowl. 7, so 3 more. Mary Annan? Good afternoon. First thing when joining a stream to check if there are pets nearby. Yes, this is Kiba and Minnie. Minnie is the gray one and Kiba is the cow. Blue seals, if you do the shop command, it will give you a link to the website, but it is paulystudios.com, just like my apron says. If you can see my apron. Pauly Studios. Or it should be somewhere in our info. There it is. But you can see if we have any of these pieces in stock there, which we have a couple of the colanders. I don't think we might have a berry bowl or two, but you can see what we have in stock. You can order pieces in whatever color you want. And certain things you can customize with texture graphics. There we go. I do make some other streamer stuff, yes. Anybody who's interested in handmade mugs. So we have, my very first customer was Dex Bonus. So we've made the Cat Gang mugs forever, and then things for sale. We currently have MTG Jedi and Damien's Gaming, and this is all with permission of the streamer. They've commissioned us to do this and sell the pieces on their behalf and drop ship. We've made custom mugs for Dr. Lupo as well, but those are not for sale. Those are strictly for St. Jude, the St. Jude fundraiser. Yeah, blue seals. Just have them reach out if they want anything, because we do singletons. That's what the custom listing is for. That if you just want one piece, then order one custom piece for a gift or as a test. This, no, there's 2 more. Okay. So if this one decides to be a bowl, it'll be number 9 of the berry bowls. They're like in the exact same position, just kind of opposite. Both kind of halfway upside down. slow this down. I want this to be a little bit wider, but I don't want it to collapse on me. Especially after I just jinxed it and gave it a number. Don't number your pots before they leave the wheel. Actually, let me, forgot to shape this a little bit more. Yep, we do travel mugs that come with a silicone lid. Do I have a problem keeping the lid on them? No. Once it's on, it's pretty good. It's a matter of measuring. So I have some where the lid might need to stretch out a little bit more to get on it, but they're pretty good. All right, one more of these. Then I've got to decide if I want to make the plates that go under them now or later, because the berry bowls will come with just a small dish underneath it to catch the water. Whoa, what is all this? Small girl Laura, hey, thank you for the raid. Welcome, good afternoon. How are you doing? Oh, you're thinking about like dropping it, like any impact sufficient to dislodge the lid is going to break the mug first, yeah. Though I do not, I will just add a disclaimer, do not try this at home, but I have had a travel mug fall from the top shelf of my display and land on the lid and bounce, and did not break. Laura, oh, you've got a cold in your voices now. Al decided to go. Oh, no. Well, I hope it gets better soon. That usually means what, sinuses? I know, that's how we're all going to be at the end of this week. We've had, like, Sunday, it was -5 here, and then by the end of the week, it's going to be in the 60s. So we are all going to be, like, snuffly and hoarse with drainage. One big sinus infection. So this is our last berry bowl, and I'll show you what the finished product should look like. Oh yeah, you almost asked Celsius or Fahrenheit, yeah. So -3 is a lot colder, yeah. Yeah, that's like 30 below. And I'm in southern Kentucky. We're not used to that. We got 4 inches of snow and school's been closed for a week. Snuffly and hoarse with drainage. It's actually the weather forecast there, yeah. So are y'all thawed out yet, or did you get it? Did y'all get what we got? -3 Celsius. It's just a nice little chill, yeah, in Finland, yeah. It's like us saying that it was like 30 degrees. All right. Grab one of those boards. Can never remember how many of these things I have. I think there's 3, but I don't. Oh, there it is. There's the 3rd one. Okay. Because I use them for something and then I forget. Here we go. So I was going to show you what I made. What I just made is going to end up, once it dries a bit, I'm going to trim a foot on it, and I'm going to drill holes in it, and hopefully it's not going to be like this one. The reason this one is still here is because it's got a crack around the edge, and so the holes on the bottom started chipping, so I'm not ever going to fire this one. It probably shouldn't have been bisqued, but hopefully the holes will be nice and round, and we'll trim the bottom, and so it'll be a little colander. Now I'm going to make something similar to this. I don't have a sponge or a soap dish, but this one is a sponge holder, and so it's going to be, so what it's used for is like a kitchen sponge that's rectangular. Sit it in here and it drains, so it doesn't fall to the bottom of your sink like mine does and get all nasty. Put it there and it'll drain the water out. And for that one, I don't necessarily need it's a small enough piece that I don't need to remove every tile. So I've got a board. Are these 1 pound? 4, okay. I do need 1 tile to start with. Mary, you had that -5 a few days ago, yeah. And today it's 35. That's about like it was. I thought it was. My car said it was 40 when I went out for lunch, so it's right around there. Laura, the cats look all snuggly. Yes, they are. They snuggle for warmth. I'm not sure if it's for the joy of each other's company. They tolerate one another most of the time. So to make these, it's technically a double-walled vessel where I'm pulling 2 separate directions. And so let's go out first and make the bottom part. And then open that up. It doesn't have to be like terribly tall, but there we go. And that's it. That's all I've got to do. Once it dries a little bit, I will I'll cut the center pieces out so the sponge can stay there. And I usually do this after I set it down, but what I'll do is give it its spout, you know, like that. And pick it up. You don't appreciate the snow melting and then freezing again. Yes, we haven't had any melting yet, which is not usual around here, which is why it stayed around so long. Whoops. All right, hold on. So that's why I've got to think about this, because here we go. Forget to leave enough clay on that this inside area. because it's so different from what I do with every other piece, where I just open up the center and make one wall. Here we go. Viking, yes! Hold on, I'll grab the finished piece. So this is the finished piece, where I will, you know, cut this section out, and then when I set it down, I made a little spout so that it can sit next to your sink and drain back into the sink. Remember what I'm doing. I'm going to do this. Eyes, hello! How are you? There's a little bit of water in there. Let's get that out. Okay, so like I can go ahead and make the spout here. This one, like I think I was a little bit unproportionate. The outside is thicker than the inside. Oh no, eyes. It's been a rough few weeks. I hope we're doing fantastic. We are doing not bad. We are beginning to thaw. We've been snowed in for the past week. What this is really, so I was here Saturday and Sunday, but before that, like, I only got out to the studio like one day, really. Maybe two. Okay, gotta remember what I'm doing here. There we go. I don't think I left enough there. That's what happened last time. I'm gonna see if I can put this back together. I don't know if I can or not. Maybe not. I should have just left well enough alone. This is what it looks like when something is not properly centered. That little part in the middle is not properly centered, and just that little bit of being off center makes it extremely wobbly. 22 minutes! You can do it! You can make it! It's almost over. So is this something I hate trimming too, or just not because it's much less trimming? So trimming specifically that I hate means flipping the piece over and trimming a foot ring on the bottom. Like cutting those shapes out, like it's not a big deal. If that's what you're asking. There's still a little bit of risk, but it's not as much with these. Like if I wait until they're too dry and try to cut into them, I'm probably going to break it, but they're smaller and they're, you know, there's a lot less involved in them. Anything that breaks or messes up, I can still reuse the clay, but still it is a lot of, especially for those big pieces I was working on with 4 pounds, like the bigger the piece, like the more time and effort you have invested in it. Oh, no, eyes. I'm sorry, your part. I forgot what I was doing. Your partner got laid off. So you're doing the wonderful stewing over whether to move back to the Midwest or not. Oh. Well, that is never easy. All the snow definitely makes you not want to, right? Like it does depend on what part of the Midwest. Oh, blue seals? Like, you never would have thought this would have been made on a wheel. Did I trim that yet? Did I? Yeah. The design reminds me of like oil lamps, yeah, that you've seen. Yeah, and it also can be similar to like this was smaller, like a candle holder, like you'd see like with a little handle on it to carry around with you. Oh, to be a fuzzy, cozy cat sleeping on a poofy cat bed, yes. You know where they have been the past couple of days? I don't know why. I don't know if the sun hits the spot just perfectly or whatever. But in the front of the studio, I have just boxes stacked up high, like 5 or 6 boxes, so that would be at least, the boxes are stacked higher than me. So let's say they're 6 foot high. The cats have been getting on top of them. Kiba too! He's been climbing to the top of them. And that's where they've been cuddled up and sleeping. And I'm wondering if it's in the window where they can... Maybe they just want to people watch. Or maybe it just gets a good amount of sun so it gets warm. I don't know. But that's where they've been the last couple of days. Kiba gets up there, but he has a hard time getting down, so... Heat rises. Johnson, hey, thank you for the raid. Yeah, welcome everybody. Good afternoon. Knife Maker raid. Welcome. We'll try to keep everything on point today. And Bluesy, good afternoon, welcome. Boo! Isn't it said that a groan is as good as a laugh? Gotta watch to see if we make the cut. There you go. That's a good one. So what was Johnson working on? Oh, eyes, you do not. Don't even pretend. Okay, yeah, finish that one. So what I'm making here are sponge holders. So that's, this is a finished sponge holder, and so I'll be cutting notches out of the ring that I made in the middle, and then I'm putting like a spout there. So they're meant for, you can use them for anything, but I use them for a kitchen sponge so it can sit in here and drain and dry out and not end up falling to the bottom of your sink and getting nasty like mine tends to do. This channel is a cut above the rest, or their channel is a cut above the rest. Twitch of Batman. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Johnson. Did some EDC profiling and sanding today, and more steak knife handles, and new batch of paring knives. Ooh. Best fries. See, the waffles is what would get it for me. You need to get a handle on all of this, or somebody's going to be driven over the edge. Hey, that's the one that I can use too. So I'm not doing anything with handles today. I can't even say I'm trying to make it muggy in here. It's like for once I'm not doing mugs. That's how I do a spout. I know, where is the Wonder Hamster when he could shine his brightest? Have you been bowled over underground? Wonder if doing flowers on a wheel is viable. I think so, because you start off with a round base, and if you make, or at least a round frame, then you can add things to it. I see people doing flowers more hand building though, but you could do whatever. That was the coffee pot I've been using to warm water for my bucket over here, since I can't get the water to heat up. Yeah, so it's been so cold that like the hot water, like running hot water, like it just takes forever for it to warm up in the sink. So I just brought an old like cheap coffee pot back here and been making hot water for myself for my water bucket. I'm molding my creativity, yes. I'm not just throwing my life away. Though if you don't know what the reference, then it makes it can be worrisome to people. But what I'm doing on the wheel is called throwing clay. Like, I made that my stream title at one point, and people came in thinking that I was depressed and trying to cheer me up, which I was very grateful for, but I'd explain I was just trying to make a joke. How many of these do I have so far? I'm getting carried away here. 12. I would do those again, especially if you have plenty of reclaim. I don't know, I think that's a bag of reclaim. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I like to give things a whirl, yes. That's a good one. I have to use whirl. You are not a great potter, but your work seems to always shape up. Yeah. You have a couple of friends who are blind, and their sense of humor is very dark. Yeah. We'll do 15 of each of these. So 13. We'll do 2 more of this shape. Victim, work experience student. No, this is not an intern. A paid employee. Studio ninja. Official cat petter. Hey, buddy. It's time for some minerals. We'll do one more. Whenever I dip my hand in the water when he's drinking out of it, he's like, "How dare you contaminate it with your filthy hand?" Hey. Okay, this is the last one of these. The sponge holders. Oh, now where am I going to put this? So let's move this board around. Let Kiba come up here so he doesn't get his feet wet. So we have a board of sponge holders. All right, let me get my other board. Hey, buddy. How do you like your close-up view of Kiba Fluff? Here we go. You wanted to cuddle, we're gonna cuddle. Gonna warm up my hands on you this time. Come on. There he is. Now this shape is going to be very similar, it's going to start off the same way, just be a little bit different. Instead of making this one like the edges straight up and down, folding this over. There we go. And then doing the edges the same way. Fill that in. And making a spout. So what I'm going to do with this one is poke a hole right there, or in there, and then maybe 4 holes in the top here so that you can, this is a soap dish. So you put a bar of soap on here, same premise as the sponge holder. It drains so it doesn't get mushy and dissolve on you. It's especially good for handmade soaps, because handmade soaps, if they sit in water, they're going to dissolve. So it helps the soap last longer. Get some of that water out of there. And cut it off. There we go. It's a little bit too fast. some of that water out of there. Blue seals say you never would have. That's a great idea for a soap dish. You never would have thought of it. Well, I can't say I, made it up all by myself. I saw something similar somewhere else. I'm like, you know what? I think I can do something like that. Gotta remember, I am making a soap dish. Oh. There we go. Bye, Meanie. Ah, there's nothing over there for her to lick. Like, normally I'll have some of my pieces, like, sitting next to me, waiting to take over to the cart, and She likes to go over and inspect them or lick them. Well, didn't need to turn it all the way off. It was just starting to wobble a bit. That one was rough. So I made 15 of the others. I'm going to make 15 of these, and this is number 6. So we got 9 more to go. So we're doing pretty good. I might get to some mugs. I have to get out my list and see what else I want to make. There's always mugs that can be made. Every time you watch the wheel turn, you think there's a wobble in it. There might be. Each piece is, you know, gonna be a little bit different. They're not usually perfectly centered by the time they're done. The centrifugal force of the wheel wants it to wibble and wobble and fall down. That's a very flat one. I might not keep that one. It's like almost collapsed. Yeah, that one is kind of dead. The center part just collapsed on it, so it's a lot flatter than it should be. A cool frisbee. Let's see what I should do after this. Mugs or something else? Or something else and then mugs? I could make ikabanas. I could make mini mixing bowls. To get out my list and see what else I need to make. There we go. Let's see. Didn't I say like an hour ago I needed to get something to drink as well? So, ikebana, garlic keeper, mixing bowl. I need to do the nut bowls, but I need to have handles ready for those. And then the others are smaller than that. Okay, so mugs. We have 12, so we'll make 3 more. Yeah, this will be 15. All right, so next, I think I can leave these here. What was it? Ikebanas and, oh yeah, garlic keepers. And mini mixers. I think I'm actually going to start with some of the Ikebanas. Centrifugal force or centripetal force? Ooh, that's, I don't know. I don't remember which one pushes in and which one pushes out. I always forget. I think I say centrifugal, but I don't know that I would have been able to spell it if you asked me to. So this is an Ikebana flower pot. Here we go. Where is my metal rib of death? So it is a flower pot that's going to have a flower frog on the inside of it. So you can make tall or short, or have a little bit more control over the direction of your flower arrangements. And for the most part, that one's done. I don't have to do anything else to it. Just move it so that it doesn't dry out too quickly and crack. And on some of those, I'm going to try to close them in and alter them a bit, making some of the wall pockets. So I make these in two sizes. I make them, this is the smaller one, and then I make one that's, this one is going to end up being like maybe 5 inches wide. And then one that's more like 7 to 8 inches wide. I've got to remember to like flatten this area out because the throwing lines really make the Ikebana spikes uneven. Hi. Thanks for passing through, stopping by. Did you? I don't know if she licked the other one or not. I don't think she got it. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that there was something over here when she walked by. But I don't think she would have destroyed anything like this. I think it's not wobbly enough for her to collapse. It's not anywhere near close to treat time. She's like, you've been here all day. It's got to be close. We have an ad. I'm going to actually go get that drink that I keep talking about. I'm really going to confuse her because I'm going to go to the front of the building and she's going to get all excited. I'll be right back. All right, here we are. Here we go. There we go. I like that better. There was a pun that I missed a while ago. These pottery puns are needed. K-N-E-A-D-E-D. I can't believe I missed that, and I apologize. Willie do it and Betty don't. So that's 5 of those. Actually, how many? I think I had some already. How many did I have? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, never mind. Just kidding. That's why I make notes and write things down, because I forget. So I'll do 3 more of those, and then I'll try to do some that are enclosed forms. Whew, sorry guys. Oops, this way. I think that one ended up a little bit bigger than the others. That was number 10. Oh, I picked it up and it collapsed. Though it's not bad looking, it's just... Yeah, I was like, it collapsed very evenly. Yeah. Still works. I'll make another one though. I wondered where he was. Oh. There we go. Now I have 10 of those. Alright, now I want to try to make this one enclosed. There we go. Maybe not with that one. See, this is, well, I think I popped it. It's like it's somewhat of a pillow right now because it's enclosed and you can do whatever you want to it, but there we go. Let's cover it back up and try to smooth that out. Smooth that out better once it's softened a bit, but that looks good. Or once it's dried up a bit. It's a bit too soft now, but then I can smooth that out. And then what I'm going to end up doing with this is like cutting the top off level, and then this is going to be a wall pocket. This is a much drier piece of clay, so I don't know if it'll be easier or harder to make an enclosed form with. Let's see. Valencia Glass, hey! Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. I was just talking about you the other day. Was recommending your channel to someone else to see how your stream setup was. Kimja, thank you for the follow. Hope I can get this one closed in. All right, let's see if we can do this. Hey, buddy. Thank you for your help. Hold on, you're not doing that. Come on. Come on. Oh, there goes everything. Hug. Oh, I did what I was trying to avoid. Because Kiba stuck to everything. Where did my mouse pad go? Looks like only one thing here was destroyed. Hi. While trying to pick it, he was about to step on all my board of stuff that I had here, and so I picked him up, but he stuck to the mouse and my mouse pad, and it went flying. So catastrophe. KB Fibers, hey, welcome. Just in time for Kaiju Kiba. Now this one is another one that I'm trying to avoid a claytality with. I made an enclosed form, and I'm trying to keep it like a dome shape without it collapsing. And I think we're almost there. Yeah, that's good. But welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. And good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to move this stuff out of the way before something even worse happens. Here we go. And this is what Kiba wants. There we go. So I'm making these enclosed shapes. Well, I'll show you what I was making before this. Was the ikabanas, which are going to be the flower pot. So it was a very similar shape. Here, since we got cats in front of the camera. It's a very similar shape, but with a hole in it. It's a flower pot. So I'm making the same basic shape, but enclosed, which I'm then going to put the hole somewhere else. I'm actually just going to like level off one side of it, so that it can be a wall pocket and be put flat on the wall. Buddy. You're a turd. Hypno's Eye, I am not familiar with that name. So that's what I'm working on today. But KB Fibers, what were you working on? And I don't know if I ever heard what Valencia Glass was doing. Oh, okay, Valencia Glass can't hear us. Oh no, okay. But welcome everybody. Oof. Here we go. You wanted to cuddle. You wanted to cuddle. Look at that face. Look at that face. Come on. Come on. Big chunk of a cat. You're knitting a sweater from the bottom up. Oh, is that how you normally do it? You hear that purr? You're like, yay, I'm in the way. Hey, Mink. You're stuck on, aren't you? Some are done top down, others side to side. Well, good luck. That seems like a vast undertaking. Seems like something that would take a long time. Cat. He's like, haha, I'm attached. Oh. Awkward cat is awkward. You gonna stay here? Or is all you want is pets? Here we go. Come on. Like sometimes he'll settle down and take a nap, and sometimes he just wants pets and that's it, and then he leaves. All right, let's see how many of these we can do. I've been making all kinds of different forms today. We've made some of the larger colanders, we've made berry bowls, we've made soap dishes and sponge holders, and now ikabanas. I'm going down my list and just building up stock of things that I don't have. Oh, yours just settled down for a nap, yes. Yeah, it's a little bit too thin right there. You're going to switch to your phone, so I'll join you in the kitchen as you prepare some lamb chops. Ooh, bet that's going to smell good. Lamb chops, mashed taters, and sweet corn. Ooh. Now you're making me hungry. Was it Saturday we were making pie plates, so I just talked about pie all day. Oh, come on. All right, fine, we'll do this again. So this can be fixed because now I have a balloon. Just got to put pressure on the right spot and smooth that out. So it's fun to make these shapes. I do something similar to this when I make my pumpkins. But it's a different type of clay and it's a much taller form, not as flat. So it's easier to do the taller the form is. Where I'm making closed shapes, and I have made teapots like this before that needed an irregular lid, so I make an enclosed form and then just cut out whatever shape I want for the lid, and then it fits perfectly. Let's trim the bottom of this a bit. Here we go. Come on, we're almost there. You can do it. This is one of those things where it like works perfectly the first time, but then every other time I've had to like patch it. But it still works. Said you do some questionable things right now for some good soup. You're so tired and sore. Oh no. What have you been doing? I think I've kind of like worn Daniel out on soup because I go gung ho on soup when it's cold. Like I could do that like every night or every other night. You know, make enough for a couple of days and eat on it. Soup and grilled cheese or soup and sandwiches or whatever, or cornbread. There we go. Okay. Snow shoveling. Had to do that last week. Thankfully, it's mostly done. Was your snow shoveling, do you have like the heavy wet stuff or was it the lighter stuff? Luckily ours this time was really light and fluffy. It was the kind you could just like almost sweep away. Although it was like 4 inches of it, so I had a shovel, but like it was very dusty. Extremely heavy wet, starting to freeze. Oh. Yeah, everything should be fairly melted by today. It got up to like 40 degrees. Just in time for it to not snow, but rain tomorrow, so I imagine there's going to be a bit of flooding. Alright, come on now. There's supposed to be enough clay there to do this. Like, this is so close to just ripping apart. Let's see how uneven that is on the top. See if I can patch this, and if I can't, then we'll just move on to another one. I don't think I've got the entire opening covered up. Well, maybe now I'll have it. Let's see. Nah, I think this one's gone. Nope. Yep, this one's gone. See what it looks like on the inside. It wasn't terribly thin there, it was just uneven. Four of those. I'll try one more. This is a new item I've been playing with. Like I said, they're going to be wall pockets. Jose, thank you for the follow. Good afternoon and welcome. There we go. Look at that. It was so easy. Just trying a different way. There we go. I'm going to stop before I pop it again. Now we have 5. I think I was stretching them out too wide. The rims of the first bowls I made are starting to dry out, but it's not, well, the bottoms are still super soft, so I may just have to cover them up and flip them. You had a crazy dream last night. You were swimming in an ocean of orange soda. Turns out it was just a fantasy. I see what you did there. Womp womp. Alright, what do I do next? I've got some of those, got some of the Ikebanas. Well, I've got my list. I can do some mini mixing bowls. So I think I have 4 of those already, so I can make 6 of them. Because I'm trying just to have like 10 of everything. Even though I made like 15 of the some of the smaller pieces, because I know I'm just going to need more of those. So this is a very simple small bowl. And it is going to have a little spout on it. It's a mini mixing bowl, and it is perfect for like your small recipes. Like I use them for scrambling eggs. It's one of the things I have at home that I use all the time. Scrambled eggs, small dressings, or the wet ingredients for your for when you're baking. It's got a little spout on it. I'm gonna try to round that up, and then it'll have a handle back here. Yeah, this is one of the things I use a lot. We have 2 of those. Let's do a couple more. This one's like a little bit, seems like a little bit taller than the others rather than wider, but there's, you know, there's a bit of variation in them all. Maybe it's just not as wide, I don't know. It'll still work. So 2 more of those. And I'll make another soap dish to replace the one that Kiba destroyed. Oh, the only soups you can find to be delivered are like wonton or hot and sour soup. Oh. Yeah, let's make that one a little bit less tall. Shorter even. I wonder if you could find chili to be delivered. You probably already looked. I was like, what are some of the more common soups that you find out now? Maybe if you even have a Wendy's near you. We ate like chili for 3 days last week because I made a big pot of it because we were snowed in, so we had made something that would last a little while. Oh, no chili then. That's 6 of these, which brings our total up to 10. And I'll make one more of these soap dishes to replace Kiba's soap dish. Gotta remember what I'm making here. So you'd get spoiled. Oh, you got spoiled. You had a local restaurant that had been here for literally like 2 generations, and they made the best Italian wedding soup. But they retired, yep. And so now you are soupless. Yeah, the restaurant next door, their soup they always have is tomato basil. It's easy to do, right? But they that's what they have all year long. Then they swap out, daily, weekly soups. So now you got me wanting soup, and I was already getting hungry. So I think I'm gonna take a break. I can do this. I can reach my mouse pad down here. Let's see who else is on. We got quite a few things. Maybe not in volume, but I feel like it was a lot. It was a lot of poundage of clay. So we did 6 colanders, 10 berry bowls, 15 soap dishes, 15 sponge holders, and 10 ikabanas, 5 wall pockets, and 6 mixing bowls. My back's getting stiff and sore. Diomedes! Diomedes is on. Alright, we need leather puns. What is a good leather pun? What is he doing? Custom sheath. I wonder what he's making. Almost looks like hairpins. Anyway, here we go. Diomedes Industries is always in here, so let's go raid them. Here we go.
3 more. We're almost done. The Elven Lord armor. Is it a commission or is it for you?
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit today, and I hope everybody can stay warm because I know it's been very cold. We've got a lot of bad weather going around, so be careful out there. Have a good evening, and I will see y'all later. I should be back here tomorrow, maybe doing more of the same, maybe doing some trimming. It depends on how fast things dry out, but I will be back. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see y'all later.
It sells. To find a rhinus-sized